There's an old saying in boxing that you're not really the champ until you can successfully defend your title. Well, I've named the wireless Sony WH-1000XM6 our best all around over ear noise canceling headphones. That's a title belt the company's legendary XM series has held for 5 years, despite some strong contenders. I'll discuss exactly how the XM6s compare against their formidable predecessors, the Sony XM5s and XM4s, along with how they stack up to the stiff competition in this category. Let's start with the headline feature. The Sony XM6s cancel noise as well or better than any other headphones available. Only the Bose QC Ultra over-ears give them a run for their money. The key here is Sony's hyper-adaptive circuitry. Their new QN3 processing chip works 7 times faster than the chip inside the XM5s. That upgraded processor works with 12 built-in microphones to read the room and cancel noise across all frequencies in real time. That's up from 9 mics found inside the XM5s. Working at home, the XM6s managed to silence the growl of the dryer one room over, and out in public, chatter was reduced to a murmur. I was aware people were talking, but couldn't make out the words, and it didn't distract me from work. It helped hush the bustling morning rush at the Mudhouse coffee shop here in Virginia. Light poured into the stained glass window and mixed with the profound smell of roasted coffee to create a quiet, blissful, and dreamy haze. It wasn't so much that the XM6s made things significantly quieter than the already formidable XM5s, but to my perception, the always active circuitry was less imposing on the sound. I didn't hear it working so often, so it just felt seamless. Ear cup size and weight are similar to the previous Gen XM5s, but the headband is wider for better weight dispersion and comfort. This helped relieve the headband from pressing into the crown of my head, my one major quibble with the XM5 fit. The overall fit rivals the XM4s, named one of our top 5 most comfortable headphones after extensive in-house testing here at Crutchfield. These fit a little more snugly than the XM4s, but the ear cups are spacious and well padded. That keeps them from feeling too tightly clamped on my head and creates an excellent seal for noise cancellation. In fact, the noise isolation is strong even without any of the circuitry turned on. Perhaps more notably, the XM6s fold up for travel and fit neatly into an included compact case. Sony used strong, infused metal hinges that sit closer to the ear cups than most, keeping the headband more form fitting. And we latched onto this small but important detail for frequent travelers. Sony revamped the case so that it's smaller, loses the zipper, and conveniently snaps open and shut with a satisfying magnetic clasp. Without the distractions of external noise, the carbon fiber composite 30mm drivers can really show off. Sony tweaked the design of these quick moving drivers for a sound that's more linear across all frequencies. We'll dive deeper into sound quality later, but to my ears, clarity and texture have improved while the bass still hits hard. Sony's hyper adaptive noise cancellation is taken up a notch by their Sony Connect app, a free download for Apple and Android. This app gives you direct controls over what noises you let in or keep out. You can customize the level of noise cancellation or ambient sound based on your task, movement, or even location. It's a cool idea, but I often take advantage of another handy trick that's been a Sony XM feature going back several generations. Placing your hand over the right ear cup activates ambient mode to temporarily turn off the noise canceling technology. Tiny built in mics will pick up external sounds so you can hear voices or your surroundings. Then go back to noise cancellation when you remove your hand. Or there's the old school tactile button on the left ear cup. That toggles between noise cancellation and ambient mode. Not as flashy as the other two, but still effective. There are several sound presets available, along with a 10-band EQ for personalized sound adjustments. This spoke to my inner headphone nerd. I rarely see apps that let you tune the sound so finely. While the out of the box sound worked well for some songs, on bass heavy tracks, I felt the extra energy in the mid bass was a bit much. Tuning to your taste is a balancing act. Fixing one area will inevitably highlight problems in another. So credit to @Super Review, the excellent YouTube reviewer, for sharing his settings and giving me a good starting point to play whack-a-mole. His settings dialed the bass back some, boosted the mid-range clarity, and then compensated to keep the highs from trending towards sharp. I ended up taking the 250 Hz band down further and bumping the sub-bass region up a bit to better preserve what I like most about Sony's low-end knock. On hip-hop tracks, that thump came through. Pharrell's production on the Clips track, So Be It, uses a guttural 808 bass line as a foundation with a soaring string and chant sample that occupies the highs. Still, between those two extremes, The vocals of MCs Pusha T and No Malice presented with the appropriate level of immediacy and excitement. Push in particular has a very precise, eloquent delivery that projects authority, but can invite some harsh sibilance. Here it was distinct and clear, yet never harsh. Switching gears, let's talk about Soundstage. The 40th anniversary reissue of Dire Straits' Brothers in Arms features a previously unreleased 1985 arena show from San Antonio. On their classic slow burn track Private Investigations, I felt like I had a prime seat as the crowd noise swelled around me, providing just enough ambiance. On stage, the synth delivered an omnipresent pulse, giving way to Mark Knopfler's gritty baritone and startling classical guitar from dead center in front of me. The soundstage was on a suitably epic scale through the XM6s. It was wide left to right, but nothing ever felt spread thin. Each piece had satisfying presence, impact, and punch. Now for the main event. Here are some quick notes on how the Sony XM6s compare to other wireless noise canceling headphones. Sony themselves described the individual changes between the XM5 and XM6 as evolutionary, not revolutionary. But taken as a whole, I think it's a big step up. I've talked about the upgrades in comfort, sound, and portability. That said, the XM5s were one of the two best headphones for canceling noise up until the release date of the XM6s, and they are still one of the best travel and work headphones you can buy today. So, if you find yourself at the very top of your headphone budget with the XM5s, rest assured you're getting your money's worth. Speaking of budget, you could still consider the XM4s the steal in Sony's flagship noise canceling lineup. They have the traditional XM design, they also fold, and as mentioned, they scored extremely well in our comfort testing. And if it comes down to comfort, it really becomes your preference. The XM4s are more relaxed on the head than the snug fitting XM6. But we are now 2 generations removed from the XM4s. Some features and controls that were ahead of their time feel less snappy and responsive in 2025. Plus, the sound is more bass heavy and less balanced to my ears without the ability to fine tune like you can with the XM6s. These are the two top headphones for canceling noise. Both are extremely effective against consistent, low frequency rumbles like the engine of a plane. But going back and forth between the two in the office, I found that the XM6s quieted a wider range of distractions. All things being equal, I prefer the relaxed fit of the Bose QC Ultra. But as noted, Sony's tighter grip helps so much with the noise isolation. I found that the overall fit was pleasant enough to live with the extra clamp force, since the XM6s cancel noise so well. As far as the sound, while I like the tuning of the QC Ultra headphones out of the box, I was able to dial in my preference even better with the Sony EQ settings. It comes down to the authoritative low end for me. The XM6s deliver deeper bass. I hope this has been helpful. If you have any questions about noise canceling headphones or any headphones, please contact us here at Crutchfield. Thanks for watching.